Hello and welcome to Tax Matters. We'll begin today's episode with a very important clarification. The other week, the public space was awash with the story of a statement credited to the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy to the effect that 9 posts had been granted the powers to administer stamp duty. The FIRS has come out with a clarification in which it categorically stated that by virtue of the Finance Act 2020, nothing was further from the truth. That is to say, the FIRS is still the sole authority in charge of the administration of stamp duty in Nigeria. According to the statement from the FIRS under the hand of Dr. Abdullahi Ismail Ahmed, Director Communications and Liaison at the FIRS, the Honorable Minister of Communications was misquoted. In the statement, the FIRS states that, for the record, the Honorable Minister merely stated that 9 posts would henceforth produce the adhesive stamps required by the FIRS to denote stamp duties. This position is in line with Section 2 of the Stamp Duties Act as amended by Section 46 of the Finance Act 2020. We do recall that a few episodes ago, this position was stated by the Executive Chairman FIRS. Let's quickly talk about stamp duty. All seems quiet on the matter of stamp duty between FIRS and 9 posts. How was this truce achieved? What happened?
Well, it was a high-level discussion that was had. The Fiscal Policy Reform Committee that put up the finance bill of the year 2020, which was recently passed, signed into law by Mr. President. And in it, in order for agencies or government not to be seen to be fighting over who collects what on behalf of the government, the stamp duty on electronic money transfer was renamed Electronic Money Transfer Levy. Another innovation that was introduced was the fact that FIRS, on its own part, should be able to patronize NIPOS. Each time we need adhesive stamp. The moment we exhort about 200 million copies of the adhesive stamp that we have asked Security and Printing to produce for us. If there is need for adhesive stamp by FIRS in the future, we should approach NIPOS for them to produce and supply adhesive stamp to us at FIRS, which is the reason why there are no longer disagreement of who collects what. So it's a very good intervention by the executive, which was endorsed by National Assembly.
There you are. The true position is that the FIRS remains the only federal agency permitted by law to collect stamp duties on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria. Welcome once again. It is said that whoever fails to plan is planning to fail. Any organization desirous of success must plan, and plan. The Federal Inland Revenue Service does this quite well. In fact, it is one of the 4 cardinal pillars of the Muhammad Nami administration. From time to time, workshops, strategy sessions, and retreats are held to fine-tune the plans and strategies of the service for optimum performance. The other week, in the space of 2 days, 3 of the 6 coordinating groups of the FIRS held retreats simultaneously in Abuja, attended by foot soldiers from across the various formations of the service spread around the country. Trust us, we were at all the 3 retreats, and of course, the Executive Chairman FIRS was on hand to provide leadership at all of them. At the opening ceremony of the retreat of the Executive Chairman's group, the chairman was on hand to flag off the retreat.
The Executive Chairman's Group was created as part of management's drive to reposition the operations of the service and build a strong institution that delivers quality service to taxpayers and our stakeholders. The group provides support to activities of the Executive Chairman through the various departments under it. Accordingly, the task on your hand as direct reports to my office also place more responsibility on you in ensuring that we collectively deliver on our mandate as the leading revenue generation agency in the country.
Mr. Nami seized the occasion to rule out some of the achievements of his administration in the past year.
We have been able to improve revenue generation, irrespective of COVID-19 challenges, and meeting 98% of our 2020 revised target. Organizational restructuring and repositioning of the FIRS by ensuring that we reignite the 6 groups and the appointment of coordinating directors, realignment of operations and functions of the various departments, and field offices for efficient service delivery to stakeholders. Prioritizing staff welfare as we cleared the backlog of promotion for 2019 and successfully concluded the 2020 promotion exam at a good time, which culminated into the promotion of the highest number of staff in the history of the FIRS. Improvement in staff motivation by reintroducing staff award and reward for outstanding service and creating an avenue for staff innovation and creativity. This is in addition to effective staff engagement by discouraging the use of consultants to perform core functions of FIRS staff, and restoring outsourced services to staff to build their capacity in line with the global best practice in tax administration. We also are able to deploy technology to improve tax revenue collection through e-filing, e-receipt, e-TCC, and ongoing deployment of technology for real-time collection and accounting of VAT, commencing with hotels and tourism sectors nationwide. The service was able to accomplish these feats with the support and dedication of all of you, even with the peculiar challenges experienced in all sectors last year.
Mr. M.L. Abubakar is the Coordinating Director, Executive Chairman's Group.
The theme of the retreat, Enhancing Organizational Performance, Plans and Strategy, was selected in line with 2 of the EC's cardinal goals, which are rebuilding FIRS institutional framework and building a customer-centric institution. The thrust of this retreat is to come up with strategies and plans that will enhance and support the organizational performance of the service in its drive to building a strong institution that will deliver quality service to taxpayers and other stakeholders. This retreat will provide a platform to review our 2020 departmental performance and draw up work plans for 2021 in line with the draft corporate plan of the service for the year. Also, the 2021 to 2024 medium-term plan, which has been presented to management, will be exposed to the audience.
Papers were presented on various topics, including a paper on the Finance Act 2020, presented by Mr. Matthew Wajumbola.
Many of us will hear the word or the phrase Finance Act. What does this actually mean? It is a piece of legislation that arouses several laws for quick and focused amendments. And what that does is, instead of having to take each law and debate it and pass it through the legislative process, everything could be taken together within one law. And if you look at the Finance Act for 2020, you will see that 14 laws were actually amended using the Finance Act 2020.
Another paper on the 2021 to 2024 medium-term plan was presented by Mr. Tezunge at SAR. We move on to yet another retreat, that of the Compliance Support Group. In his opening remarks, Mr. Nami tied the theme of the retreat to the 4 cardinal pillars of his administration.
It is my pleasure to sincerely welcome you all to this retreat with the theme adopting innovative compliance strategies in optimizing tax revenue in these very difficult times. Annual retreats are aimed at critically evaluating the prior year performances and being better prepared for the new year through dispassionate deliberations. The theme is not only reflective but timely, as it provides opportunities for the key stakeholders within and outside compliance support group to evolve strategies that can guarantee achievement and possibly even surpass the target for 2021 and the years to come. I'm thrilled by one of the themes, ownership, collective responsibility, and ethics. Every staff member is therefore urged to take ownership of their different roles in the service. Exceptional performance will be commended and rewarded. The best head of tax audit office and tax controller, heads of audit and tax controllers with at least 90% cash collection to target performance, and best departmental and group staff members are in the process of being commended and rewarded by management.
Earlier in his welcome address, the Coordinating Director Compliance Support Group, Mr. Dick Irri, had this to say.
We are gathered here these 2 days to collectively brainstorm and come up with new innovative compliance strategies and ideas that we can possibly adopt to help us surpass set revenue and non-revenue targets. It is my belief that as a group blessed with intelligent, dedicated, committed, and hardworking members of staff, we shall do our very best in delivering on this year's target and expectations.
In the course of the 2-day retreat, papers were presented aimed at priming the staff and members of the CSG for the task at hand. Professor Suleiman Arowa of the Nasarawa State University delivered a paper on the theme of the retreat, which was subsequently discussed by a group of 8 panelists.
There is nothing more serious within the fiscal sector than, particularly in taxation, than talking about compliance. That is the focus of many countries today, because significant compliance is synonymous to optimizing revenue. First and foremost, you agree with me that the primary goal of a revenue authority is to collect taxes, ensure that they're in conformance with law, and that in doing that, we can also sustain confidence in the tax system and tax administration. Be as it may, taxpayers are humans. There could be some level of ignorance, some level of carelessness, some level of recklessness, even deliberate evasion. Again, there could also be even weaknesses within the system that could facilitate non-compliance. Because of this, revenue authorities will have to put together strategies to ensure that they can minimize the extent of compliance gap.
Other papers include Ownership and Collective Responsibility and Ethics, presented by Dr. Oke Okechukwu. Audit and Monitoring of Ministries, Departments, and Agencies. And of course, the Medium-Term Plan 2021 to 2024 and the 2021 Corporate Plan.
London, New York or Lagos, business or holiday, home or office, you can now carry out your tax transactions from anywhere in the world. You can now file all your tax returns, pay online, get a receipt and even process your tax clearance certificate from anywhere in the world online and in real time. All you need to do is log on to www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-services and be introduced to the world of innovation, convenience and transparency from the FIRS. You can also pay stamp duty as you register a new company with the CAC or for other transactions that require stamp duty payment online. You can also file your withholding tax returns and determine the withholding tax deducted from you is in government coffers so that you can get your receipt within 45 days as long as the deduction has been remitted. Yes, all of this and more online at www.firs.gov.ng/e-services. FIRS, making tax administration as easy as ABC. Please note that all FIRS services are free of charge. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. It pays to pay your tax.
Welcome to our guest corner. There are 6 coordinating groups at the FIRS. A few episodes ago, we began a series in which we are taking an in-depth look at the activities of the FIRS via the prisms of men who supervise the various departments, tax offices, and other formations of the service spread across the country. So far, we have brought you the interviews with Dr. Aishek Medugu of the Digital Support Group and Mr. Femi Oluwaniyi of the Tax Operations Group. On this episode, we were supposed to be serving you the concluding thoughts of Mr. Oluwaniyi, which we know you were looking forward to. But we seek your indulgence to bring you our interview with the coordinating director in charge of the Compliance Support Group, Mr. Dick Irri. We can't serve you all today on this episode because of time constraints, but next time we will serve you a combo, part 2 of Mr. Irri and part 2 of Mr. Oluwaniyi. Joining us on today's episode of Tax Matters is Mr. Dick Irri. He is the Coordinating Director, Compliance Support Group of the FIRS. Mr. Irri, thank you for joining us on Tax Matters.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Nigerians.
Sir, your group, the Compliance Support Group, is said to comprise of departments whose main focus is on voluntary compliance. So how do you go about this?
Well, the Compliance Support Group is made up of 5 departments. We have what we call Taxpayer Service Department. And in this department, the focus here is to educate the taxpayer about their rights and obligations, and also to enlighten them on areas that they may need enlightenment, and also to attend to their inquiries where they have inquiries to make. We also have a department called Policies and Program Monitoring Department. This department is set up to ensure that all the operational policies and programs are followed by the field offices. Where there are breaches, these are brought to the attention of the operators or the head of those offices, and in some cases, could even be reported to management for appropriate sanction. We also have a department called Tax Policy and Advisory Department. This is a policy that the department that interfaces with the Ministry of Finance in terms of policy issues and law-related issues where we need to make amendment to the law, tax laws, and as is necessary. And they actually drive the Finance Act from the FIRS point of view. And they also play the role of advisory because here we do rulings, people ask questions about what is the position of FIRS, what the understanding on this gray area or the other, and they do ruling. They also do the double taxation agreement and also automatic exchange of information. The fourth department we have is the Tax Audit Department, which carry out routine audit assignments ranging between the last 6 years of operation if you are looking at your books. Then the last one, the fifth one, is special tax audit, where in this department we concentrate on mergers, acquisitions, other special issues, or maybe refund cases. They are also treated in this special tax audit department. So this is what we do in the compliance service group.
Technology is now the main focus of the FIRS. Are you satisfied that the various departments and staff of the service are embracing technology even as they are asking taxpayers to do likewise?
Yes, to an extent, I would say yes, because as it is, nobody operates on manual level. Everybody operates with a computer for now. We are writing letter, writing memo, they are all done on computer. So to an extent, yes. And also as a group, we have also embraced automation. For example, the audit process has been automated. As it is now on the dashboard, I can see what is happening in Maiduguri or Sokoto or Port Harcourt. If they have uploaded any of the assessment or whatever process where they are in their audit process, I can monitor it from my office here. It's already automated. We deploy a software called Audit Process Management, APM, and it has gone live since January. So every audit office has embraced it and they are running with it. Also for the taxpayer service inquiry purposes, we've gone far in automating the call center to make it automated 24/7. Inquiries can come in and they will be answered, directed to the appropriate technical section or department that will give such answer, and taxpayer can get feedback on the spot. The automatic exchange of information is also automated, where we interface with external other countries in the world to exchange relevant information on taxpayers and the rest. So as a group, we have all embraced technology as it is, and I can say I'm satisfied. We can still do better.
We know that some taxpayers can be difficult to handle. We have chronic tax defaulters. Now, considering the fact that some taxpayers are very, very difficult to handle, how do you go about this?
Before I go to automation, let me tell you something about taxpayer characteristics. We have basically three types of taxpayers. Those who are willing to comply, either comply in terms of filing or payment, but perhaps they don't have the means. This one, the service has a way of managing them. They can request for whatever assistance they want. For example, like they want to pay, but the money is not complete, and they can request for instrumental payment. The service have such program in place for them to encourage them to ensure that they still continue in business. We have those who don't even know what to do at all, and these ones we help through the tax education and enlightenment campaign, and also when they make inquiry through tax ruling, we help them. Then those who are from coming to where your question is based now on the recalcitrant and difficult taxpayer, these are tax invaders. I will have three major processes of getting to identify these tax invaders. We have the tax examination based on data. With data, we now have data available to us. We are scooping data from all agencies, and like names, for example, CAC and maybe CBN through BVN. We are scooping all this data, and we can now zero down on these tax invaders and be able to bring them to the tax net. If all this cannot help, we take them to investigation and probably enforcement. These are the processes that we use to handle recalcitrant taxpayers.
Interesting. Now you know why you have to meet us on this platform next episode. Same station, same day of the week, same time of the day for the concluding part of this illuminating interview and more. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful week ahead.